Where's my wallet? Oh, shit. Alright, find it. I put mine.
What?
Do you lock it?
Yeah, I'm gonna lock it right now.
I've never.
Oh. Hi.
How are you? Good, thanks.
Yeah. And you guys also have the beta people here, right? Or no?
Yeah, we share the.
Share the hangar?
Yeah, no, not the hangar, but the training.
The training?
The training.
Cool.
So, your instructor is not with people anything right now, so you can get your full bit until it actually comes back in. Right?
Is that Adam out there?
That is that.
Cool.
And we'll talk to them for a little bit. Feel free to hang out here in the lobby or out there. She can be like an hour.
I think she was gonna go.
Do I get to go or no?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Hey man,
Hi.
how you doing? I'm Jake.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm Stacy.
Hi, Stacy. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
She's able to go, right?
Yeah, you can go right with us.
Sweet.
Okay, perfect. All right, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Well, you'll be up front with me and
Yeah.
all the plan and stuff, and
Oh, nice. I'll be in the back.
you'll be in the back.
Yep.
You get to watch
Is
the
it?
scary now.
Nah.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Cool. Well, our plan's all set. Why don't we just sit down and talk for a minute?
Sure.
About, pilot and stuff. Can you check this out?
Yep.
Thanks, dude. Here's a chair if you want.
Thank you.
This your
Close
office?
that door.
You
No,
want
this
to
is
do
just
this?
one of
Oh,
our
okay.
briefing rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, you want to be a pilot, or kind of what was the purpose about getting a discovery flight like this?
Well, I'm in the aviation industry. I mean, I've been in it for 3-4 years now. I mean, since
Yeah.
like
Couple of years. yeah.
21.
Sure. What are you doing?
I work for a private jet company. We charter planes.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
What company?
It's called Avsky Charters.
Yeah, I think I might have heard of that.
They're down in Florida.
Florida. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. So, you guys charter company. What do you do for them? You figure out
I'm a charter broker.
charter broker.
Yeah.
Got it. Makes sense. Cool.
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah. And did you want to? Are you trying to move towards getting your private pilot license, or
Yeah, I
trying
think
to make a career out of piloting, or
I think that for right now, I kind of wanted to get my private pilot's license.
yeah,
at
kind
some,
of for fun. And
Yeah, at
see how
some
you
point.
like it.
And I've talked to a lot of commercial pilots. I've talked to a lot of private pilots, and they always have a really cool lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not even for the money.
Yeah.
It's just the lifestyle is pretty cool. So I've always been interested in it.
Yeah.
And I want to know more about aviation
How did-
itself. So
How did you get yours?
Yeah, sure. So we have a pilot program through Vermont State University. It used to be Vermont Tech. Are you guys from around?
yeah,
here?
yeah,
Yeah.
we're from South.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Vermont Tech had a program. They partner with VFA, Vermont Flight Academy. It's two separate organizations, but they're kind of merged into one a little bit through the program. So I went here. I got my private pilot license at VFA. Started right here. Then I got my instrument license. Then I got my commercial license. And last fall I got my flight instructor license, got hired by the school, and now I work as a flight instructor. I'm still in school. Technically, it's a 4-year program.
How many hours you got?
I have
Okay.
just over 300.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm just now working as a flight instructor until I can get those
1,500.
It's 1,000 if you go through a 141 program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's 2 separate routes you could do it. You could do it 141, which is through like a college school,
Okay.
and that's a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more like set schedule, timelines and stuff like that. But you have to take college classes and stuff,
Mm.
which is a lot time consuming.
Time consuming.
Yeah, and not always what people want to do. It's what I wanted to do. It worked out great for me, but it doesn't work. Not everybody likes it. Part 61, however, is kind of do it yourself. Much more flexible. You do it on your own time. You can just kind of just do it whenever you want to.
Is it more expensive that way?
No, not technically. They
Oh,
both have the
okay.
same minimum, so you need to have at least 40 hours of total flight time before you can get your private pilot
You
license.
need like 10 hours of like,
Yep, you need about
nighttime,
10,
right?
10 hours of solo, 20 hours of dual, I think 10 or maybe 5 or 10 of nighttime.
Yeah.
A certain amount of
Solo, like
cross-country
by
time.
yourself up
Yep,
there?
by yourself.
Whoa.
Yes, so you
Whoa, early on you do that?
pretty early on, anywhere from like 10 to 20 hours. Sometimes people take more.
Interesting. I didn't know it was like within that.
Wow.
Within that time.
Yeah, it's pretty quickly.
But they make sure you know what you're doing before
Yeah, no.
you do that, right?
Well, it's on us if something happens, so we make sure you guys are all set.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, everybody does it at their own pace. I like to say 40 hours is the minimum. I took 70.
Mhm.
Some people take 100. Some people take 40.
To
It
get your
really-
pilot's license?
To get your private pilot
Yeah.
license. 40 is just the minimum.
Yeah.
But it really depends on how much dedication you have. How quickly you do it and stuff like that.
How
But
comfortable.
yeah, how comfortable you are
Yeah.
and how quickly you learn. Some people learn at different, paces. If you learn quick, cool. If you take a little bit longer, there's nothing against that.
Right.
Everybody goes at their own pace.
Got it.
And the whole solo thing, you do a lot of training. You do a lot of landings, taking off and landing.
Okay,
really
good.
comfortable.
Yeah. Do you
get
guys have
really
any
comfortable with
simulators
that.
or anything like that here?
We have a simulator. It's not like a full. It's full motion, but it's not like one of the really nice ones. We mainly just use it for procedural training for instrument.
Okay.
Instrument flying's a whole different thing. It's much less,
Like in the clouds you're
flying.
talking about?
In the clouds, exactly. That's what you what you need an instrument rating for.
Mm-hmm.
It's much more like figuring out approach plates and flying in, and much more procedure based, not so much just flying around, having
Right.
fun and actual control skills. We have a couple simulators, one decent one and then a couple kind of crappy ones. But
Got it. Okay.
but the decent one's fun to fly around.
Yep.
But then again, we don't have privates use it because it's not too useful for them.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, cool. Any other questions?
Not that I can think of at the moment. I mean, do you have any?
Not right now.
No.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions at any time during the flight or whenever, just let me know.
Cool.
Yeah, so today we'll be flying a 172. It's the most popular training aircraft in the world. I
Yep.
think actually the most popular aircraft in the world. Pretty safe, we have like 12 172s here at Vermont Flight Academy.
Cool.
We have a couple Technoms, which are another plane company, but we don't fly those as often.
And it's a
flown
good
out
day
there.
today, right?
It's nice out today. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might be just a tiny bit bumpy if you guys are kind of okay with turbulence. Just once we get above a certain altitude, it kind of smooths out.
But at least it's nice and sunny and it's not
It's
too
nice and
cold.
sunny, and you can see pretty far today. Visibility is really good. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's just
Yeah.
talk about the plane itself. If you're looking to get your private, I'll have you take controls for a little bit.
Okay.
Just flying around, doing some stuff like that. Kind of get you used to, maybe what it's like to.
Yeah, I'm
to
curious
fly.
to hear about how to talk to the control tower
Yeah,
and.
I could let you take a couple of those. I'll tell you
And
what
all
to
that.
say for it.
Oh,
if you
really?
want to, yeah.
Sure. Okay.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I know it's like a whole nother language that you guys
It
have to
is.
speak.
It goes by quick.
Right.
You guys will be like, "What is he even saying?"
Yeah.
And it takes a little bit to get used to. It's actually probably, I found myself when I first started that comms were like one of the more difficult things to
Right.
get used to. And with my new students, like they take a few lessons to really get the hand of just learning them.
Can you
Yeah.
do it on like any apps or anything like that? Are there apps to
There's, like-
kind of help?
Yeah, there's like
Because I know there's a procedure for it, right?
yeah, it depends on what kind of airport you fly at here. Like Burlington,
Oh, okay.
Burlington International, it's a relatively medium-sized airport, so
Yeah.
we have a control tower. But like other flight schools fly without a control tower,
Hmm.
and so it's kind of two separate worlds versus controlled versus and
Yeah, you gotta
uncontrolled,
know.
so-
You gotta know the
Yeah,
control.
uncontrolled.
Okay.
Uncontrolled can be harder only because you have to talk to other pilots now,
Yeah, that's
and
nuts.
you are
Wow.
basically coordinating who's landing first, who's joining the traffic pattern, without somebody dedicated to do that. And sometimes pilots, just like drivers, can be jerks and cut you off.
Yeah.
So, you got to be really situationally aware at uncontrolled airports. It's not necessarily like more dangerous, it's just different. Whereas at a controlled tower, you kind of not have more at risk, but you have to be really sure what you're doing.
Mhm.
Because if you do something and you're not cleared to do it at a controlled tower, you could get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Like if
Oh.
you take off without being cleared to, specifically cleared to, it's a lot of trouble. So it's different.
Interesting.
It's kind of interesting that we have a flight school at a controlled tower like this. That's not usually the case.
That's not common.
That's not that common.
Okay.
The big schools will usually have a dedicated control tower, like Embry-Riddle or Purdue or something like that.
Yeah.
They'll have like big schools and like dedicated controllers just for their school. But we fly with the jets around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll be probably
which is-
taking off, maybe even behind a jet today. We'll
Interesting.
probably see a couple of them out there. So.
Okay, that's really
Wow,
cool. That's
that's-
really cool,
yeah,
actually,
that's
to kind of get like a real life,
Yeah, and
you
you
know,
hear
real
all
world
the
experience.
Yeah, you hear all their comms too while you're talking to them. They're whatever Delta, 58, 41, or any number of airlines that fly in here, and you kind of hear what they do too. It's pretty similar, a little bit different, but
Yeah.
cool.
All right.
Wow.
Let's just get right into it then.
Sounds like
Alright.
fun. Go ahead and fly.
Thank you.
And then the
Is
Beta.
there a bathroom here?
Yes, right to the right.
And then the Beta people are over here in this one.
There's a beta building kind of here.
Yeah.
Main building. Yeah, there's their big manufacturing building right there.
Okay.
You can't see it, but I'll show you it.
Yeah.
The building you pass on the way in here, that's the one.
Dude, I was so lost. I went to the airport, then I went over on that side.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take your pick.
Sure.
Perfect. You can give that one to your mom.
Perfect.
Cool. Actually, while she's in the bathroom, I gotta run out to my car really quick.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll be right back.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, we'll be fine on that one. The N73.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely little.
It's actually really like it's cool up here, you know, because you get to have like the mountains and stuff. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people in Florida, like they don't get this type of scenery.
Right.
And I think it's a little different with how you learn with the mountains versus
I think the wind.
learning down in Florida. But I don't know.
Cool, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
I need 9 8 characters. Thanks, dude.
Have a good night. You too. Like I said,
Thank you.
enjoy.
So it technically is a secured area down here for the airport, the International Airport.
Okay.
And you need to have one of these to walk around, so just kind of stay close to me.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. So we'll be flying 968 Victor, level 1 down here.
Okay.
Daisy May's her nickname, so
Daisy May.
All right.
Sweet.
these are all our planes here. So we have a couple of Cessnas. Most of them are out flying right now.
Okay.
That's a Technum on the end there. That's a Santabria. That's our aerobatic plane.
Oh, super cool.
Yeah, we use that mainly for like spin training and tail wheel endorsements.
Yep.
Like that. You guys got your headsets and everything?
Yeah. So what do you need to usually do for like a pre-flight inspection?
Yeah, sure. So I'll just kind of walk around and talk about the
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, I forgot a student solo took this out. The door's locked.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, this is super cool.
Oh my gosh. This
Yeah,
will
so
the
I'll be on the right
smallest-
side and you'll be on the left side.
I'll be on the
But if
left.
put
You want me to
this
be on the left side?
Yeah, you'll be on the left.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's technically the captain side.
Yeah.
So Captain Jake right here.
Wow. All right.
Wait, what side is the captain?
I'll be fine on the right side if
The
you.
airline's the left side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, but all training until
All
C5
training is on the left side?
Yeah, you fly from the left.
Cool,
side,
okay.
And then the flight instructor's on the right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so let me take a look at that. So our pre-flight's pretty simple.
Okay.
We just follow this checklist down here. Now this, we kind of do a walk around. There's a lot of little things we do, but the pre-flight is like the most important part because it's the first thing you do.
Yeah.
Really important safety-wise.
Landing
We
gear.
just start right up there and down.
Oh, you start from up here.
Yep,
Okay.
start from up there and you just follow the checklist. Each one.
Interesting.
There's lights, there's radio stuff that you got to check.
Yep.
Pitot tube, and that your pitot tube helps you get your like airspeed information, things like that. So you just want to make sure there's like covers on, and these tie downs are usually. So what you want to do is just do a quick walk around of everything, and make sure it's all pre-flighted. I pre-flighted it earlier before you got here,
Yeah.
but you want to look at the controls, make sure there's like freedom of movement.
Freedom of
So let's talk about the controls really quick. So
Sure.
you have 3 main controls on here.
Okay.
You have the ailerons right here on the tips of the wings. If you look out there, you'll see it move.
Yep.
So that controls your roll. So when you're banking, that controls how much you actually bank. Then you have your elevator back here. This controls pitch. This is how you ascend or descend, climb or descend, I guess.
Cool. Okay.
Then you have rudder there. That kind of just controls your stability and the quality of your turn. That doesn't really make sense, but it's what it's for.
Yeah. Well, is that
to
used?
stabilize
Is this
the
to help
aircraft.
like with landing as well, like for the rudder?
You use it all the time.
You can use it all-
So
you use
what
it
you
all the
want to
time,
do
okay.
is like, as the aircraft's flying through the air, you want your nose pointed in the direction of the flight path.
Yep.
If you didn't have a rudder and you started to bank, the nose is going to kind of veer off. Like if you're banking left, it will veer off to the right. So that's why you use the rudder to help get that nose back aligned with the direction.
Oh, okay.
That's just one example. You use it all the time.
Yep.
Flaps are a secondary control surface, so they're used to help slow the aircraft down. They kind of stick out into the wind, lots of drag, helps you get nice and slow. We use it mainly for landing, but there's other things we can use them for.
Okay.
Landing gear, pretty simple. We have main and then a nose gear here, oleo strut. Helps make the landings nice and soft. And then, of course, finally the propeller. Pretty standard.
Yeah.
We have, I think, 180 horsepower in this plane, so it goes somewhat fast, about 100 knots
Okay.
for normal cruise. But, yeah, cool. Why don't we hop in? I'll let you get in first.
Sure.
If you want to, you can either sit behind me or him if you want to take pictures. It might be better if you're sitting behind me. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll get it.
Do you want her to get in first?
Before I get in. Right?
Yeah, you can hop in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here you
Yeah, I'm gonna hop in.
And I'll move this stuff for you.
Yeah. Okay. What's the trick for?
Yes, I can help you with that. There's a little handle there.
Oh. Okay. All right. All right. This is definitely the smallest plane.
It's very
like,
small. Your
flown
legs
in,
might
but-
be.
No, I'm
My
good.
seat will move forward, so there will be more room.
Yeah, but no, I'm
once I
fine.
get into
Is
it,
that-
No,
it
I'm
should
fine.
be
I'm
better.
just saying I never.
Yeah, if you want to
down
move
here?
that back,
I
there's
can't
a
find
handle
it.
right there. And kind of jiggle it back. I might need to do it from here. So.
Sorry.
No problem. No, this happens all the time.
Yeah, no, I can feel it. Come on, buddy. Work with me.
There you
Oh.
go.
There we go. All right. Cool.
Is it colder up there? Because I like bundled up. It's like probably.
It gets a little bit colder. Today's pretty warm out.
nice out.
But we
Yeah.
we have heating in it, so
Oh.
if
Oh,
you get
sweet.
cold, just let me know and I can turn on the heat for us.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. If you want to hop in, make sure you buckle your seatbelt
Yes, I
too.
will. I will.
Let's get this all situated.
Okay, so
Ah!
does it just go
Yes,
How
it
does
should
it
be
go?
a. Let's
just
see.
around? Wait, I'm gonna take this off. I think I'm really bundled up here.
There should be a seatbelt and then a shoulder strap that goes around and hooks onto it
Okay,
separately.
so here it is.
Yep. So that's gonna be the shoulder strap.
Yep.
So plug that buckle that up into one of those seatbelts there.
This one.
Yep.
Right? All right.
And then there
this
should be,
one
I think at the
goes-
very end, yep, that part, that latches onto the seatbelt buckle, that that part right there, this little metal knob there,
Oh,
just like
okay.
that, yeah, exactly.
Just like that. Okay, so this one I have to make straighter.
Yep.
So with this,
Oh yeah, I'll take care of that.
You'll take care of
the
that?
doors are
Okay.
a little bit weird.
Yeah.
So to plug in your headset,
Right here?
yes, right there.
Okay.
There's a small knob and a big one. The big one doesn't fit in the small one, so you just gotta be careful with that.
Okay. Oh, and that clipped. Okay. So.
Yeah, if you want to plug in your headset, yours goes. Let's see. Oh, right here.
Oh,
Right on the
perfect.
pilot side.
okay.
And then, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to put my
Nope, not at all.
bag
Go ahead.
right behind
Yeah.
him there, and my water bottle.
Yeah.
Just go back there too.
So how long have you been doing this?
About 2.5 years.
Sweet. Does it matter which way it goes
Usually
on?
the mic is on the left side.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter though.
Yeah.
Okay. I had it backwards. On the left?
Yep. So I think it
So
flips
just-
all the way around like that.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter though. It doesn't matter which ear.
Yeah, but I'd rather do it
The right way. Cool.
Cool.
Now let me help you with that door. over
Sure.
there.
So is this good for you? You have to have it around you.
You do?
And then tighten it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, make sure that goes over your chest there.
Over my chest?
Yes.
Yep.
No, the way you had it.
Yeah, the way I had it, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
was
but
that
just
right?
tighten
Yes.
it.
Yeah, right over my chest.
Tighten it a little bit.
Oh, once you move forward, the seat forward, it'll tighten.
Oh.
Cool.
Yeah. So these doors, you gotta like do it a little bit weird. You gotta pull the handle down and then just kind of close it. I did it too far.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want you falling
Yeah.
Yeah, and feel free to take pictures anytime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you just gotta buckle that into there. Should be. Yep.
This?
So this buckles into that.
This buckles into that. Okay. Thank you.
And then yeah, this will go across your chest, and then the metal part there at the end. Flip it
We'll go-
around. Perfect.
Okay.
Most confusing thing about these planes are the seatbelts.
Well, I guess he said when you move the seat forward, it's going to get tight.
It'll get tighter?
Yeah, I'll get a little bit tighter. And then try to bring it as far forward as you can.
Okay.
Is that good? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I just gotta take a picture of this.
Of your hours on the plane?
Yeah, we have a certain amount of hours for each flight. And so I just gotta keep track of that throughout it,
Yeah.
just so we don't go over.
Cool.
Okay, seatbelt's all tight and good. Perfect. And make sure your feet can touch those pedals down there too.
How much do you usually have your toes on it or your heels?
Yeah, so your heels should be on the bottom part of it, and then your toes should be on the top part. Just for
Okay.
the ground though. Once you're in the air, you don't need your toes. Watch your feet there.
Yeah.
Sure. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get out there.
Oh, sorry.
Do you want it more forward?
I think that's as far as
Yeah, that might be as far as it goes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have like cushions to help you, push forward and see better.
Right.
But I think for today it should be fine. You
Yeah.
won't need to touch those out.
No, I know. I was just trying
That'll
to get a
make it
feel.
fly.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll just keep it. Circuit breakers feels like it rolls.
So where are you reading
I'm
before you
going-
start?
Yeah, before start, I'm just going through. You just follow everything in the checklist. I'd go through it all with you, but it's
No, yeah, that's
Kind
okay.
of
I was
boring.
just trying to I was just trying to see where you read.
yeah.
as
So
well.
each section of flight has a specific checklist for it. So like before
Yeah.
we start, and then after an actual engine start, and then before we leave,
Before
we start
taxi,
moving,
run up.
Then we have our run up right before we take off, and then like take off, climb, cruise, and then landing stuff.
Interesting. Yep.
So it's everything you need is on here, and even though I can do this without the checklist,
You always need
need
this.
the checklist,
Always.
just because in case you miss something.
Yep.
It's better to not miss that. Could you do me a favor here? So you see that prime on the left side there? Yep.
Right here.
So twist that and pull it out. Like just keep twisting until you find the lock there. Yep. Pull it all the way out for me. Wait for it to fill up. Good. Now push that back in. Okay. Now pull it out one more time.
What are we priming? The engine?
The engine, yeah.
Yep.
Push it all the way back in now and pull it out for me one more time. Perfect. Now push,
Push it back
in. Yep, push it back in and then twist it and pull it like perfect. Now it's locked.
Yep.
Okay, now we got the keys here. Here, I'll let you start it if you want.
Sure.
So put that into the ignitions, but don't turn
Right
it
here?
yet. Yep. So why don't you open up that window real quick?
This window?
Oh yeah, make sure that door's locked
That's-
too. Yeah, that's the
How do you-
door lock.
That's the door lock, right?
Yeah, so push
Do I
that
push
all
it
the way.
forward?
Push it down.
Push it down?
Like forward, like towards the.
This way.
Yep.
Yep.
There
Yeah,
you
we don't
go.
want that opening.
Yep.
And the window lock is up.
Window lock is right here.
Yep.
You,
You kind of got to twist it.
yeah, like that.
Perfect.
Okay.
So,
do you want that open?
Just for a second.
Okay.
Because so what we do when we actually start it is we clear the area, and then we give a nice big clear prop, and then we can start the engine. The clear
Okay.
prop just lets anybody know that we're about to start a spinning propeller.
Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and just yell out for me clear prop?
Clear prop.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now
That's
you can
what
grab
you do?
that. Yeah, you just go clear prop, and
Oh,
then
interesting. Okay.
you can grab that key.
Grab the key.
It should start automatically, so just hold the
To the right?
Yep, all the way to the right, just like a car, until the propeller. I can tell you when to stop, but yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh yeah, turn on the master right there. Sorry.
Okay.
Now it should start. Okay, let go.
Yep.
Perfect. You can close your windows now. You can put your headset on now too. How do you hear?
I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, put your mic right up to your mouth there.
Yep.
You can hear me loud and clear. Perfect. Okay, so then we're just gonna do some more checklist stuff. Make sure a little bit. Yeah, I'll bring us up to the run up here. Yeah, just make sure you're not touching those brakes.
Which one's the brakes?
The brakes are so you have your heels on the bottom of the pedal, and then you have your toes up at the top, and you push with your toes. That's the brakes.
Interesting. Okay.
Push with your heels. That turns the thing. So I'm not even gonna touch this right here.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna like watch. I put my foot my heel all the way to the left, and it goes to the left. And then if I go all the way to the right,
It's kind of like a helicopter.
yeah, kind of. Why don't you put your feet up there, and I'll kind of show you. You can feel my feet with it there.
Yep.
How it's supposed to go. And then yeah, this big white building here, that's the Beta manufacturing building. So that's where they're building all their planes.
Oh, cool.
We'll be using. And do you feel my feet moving there with the rudder?
I do.
Yeah. So that's how we turn. We don't turn with our brakes, but the wheel itself will turn. The pedals.
And how long, for to take off? How many feet do you need for this plane?
It depends on what you're doing and how the conditions of the car are, and how hot it is actually. The back up,
Oh wow, cool.
yeah, I'm just gonna kind of go to the run up here just so we can get it up there.
like I could be on the ground learning this, and then you could get in, right? Does it kind of like?
It's a mixture of both.
It's a mixture of both.
Having great ground knowledge and then also being able to fly.
Yeah.
It's definitely like some people with great ground knowledge sometimes just can't fly well. But like, even then, like enough practice, you can get it done.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna call up ATC right now. So we're at the clear sky 9698 Victor.
Okay. What would you say again?
In the valley.
In the valley. Ready to taxi. With Echo. Okay.
So try and say that back to me. It's fine if you mess up.
Well, I couldn't even like. I'm like so. No way.
Sure. Okay. You know, I'll get this one. Maybe I'll let you get one up in the air. You know what? There's actually an easier one.
Is
right
there?
Before the runway. I'll let you take that.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't want to mess up.
Sky 9698 Victor. Valley ready to taxi. 3-3, big Golf Juliet, 90 Victor. Okay, taxi light on. You always have the taxi light on. Then over low back low. That lets up the aircraft. Keep it on that plane. And so what they told us there was runway 33. So runway 33 being Golf Juliet. Golf Juliet is just taxiways. So we're currently on golf right now. But we will be on golf in a second. And then we just take a right turn on Juliet and we're at our runway. Now we have a pretty big runway here. We have two runways, two main runways of 33 and then 19. 33 is 8,300 feet long, so it's pretty long.
Wow. Were you ever behind one of those like the F-35s?
Oh yeah, you'll get stuck here. They get priority, so sometimes you'll be stuck holding each other the runway. That's like 5, 6, and F-35s.
Wow.
of 3-3,
of 3-3,
ready for departure.
ready for departure.
Okay, one more try. Dude, it's fine. Just I want you to say this one.
Holding short.
Yes.
Holding short because we're sitting here.
Yeah, because I don't know why we're saying it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, we're just
So Burlington Tower 9698 Victor,
Yep.
holding short
of 3-3.
of 3-3,
ready for departure.
ready for departure.
Go ahead and say that. So it's going to be this button right here. No, it's going to be that button. So just hold that down.
I don't
The
want
entire
to.
time.
No shot.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you
no,
sure?
I'd rather listen to you with
Okay.
it. Yeah.
You're going to have to eventually.